Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah. Welcome to Al-Imam Hamzah recitation class. Lesson 2. Today's topic is Al-Isti'adhatu wal-Basmala. Al-Isti'adha. Saying the Isti'adha, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek Allah's protection from the arm of the deprived and expelled devil. Isti'adha means I seek the protection of Allah to preserve me against the arm of Satan, who is a deviant and transgressing blasphemer among the jinn. We should note that Isti'adha, or seeking Allah's protection from the devil, is not a part of the Quran according to the scholars. However, the saying of most of the scholars, that is Jumhurul Ulama, is that it is liked, mustahab, for one to begin with the Isti'adha before starting to recite the Quran, while some are of the view that one says the Isti'adha after finishing reciting the Quran, on the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Nahl verse 98, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. However, the Jumhur said that the meaning of this ayah is, if you want to recite the Quran, start with the Isti'adha. The same technique is used in the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, narrated by Umaydi and Tabarani, which means إِذَا أَكَلْتَ فَسَمِّ اللَّهِ. If you want to eat, start by mentioning the name of Allah. Al-Basmala. Al-Imam Hamzah reads with the Basmala if he starts a new recitation at the beginning of a surah, as all the Qur'an agreed upon that Bismillah will be recited. Also between Surah An-Nas and Surah Al-Fatiha. However, it connects between the surahs without Basmala, as if the Quran is one surah for him. Hamzah's rules of recitation, which includes both Khalaf and Khalad, has only one way of joining two surahs together with Waslu, which means joining the last word at the end of one surah with the beginning of the first word of the next one, following surah in the order of the Quran without Basmala. The vowel haraka on the last word of the first surah must be read while applying the appropriate tajweed rule for how the ending of the previous surah will meet with the beginning of the following surah. Ash-Shatibiyya said, وَوَسْلُكَ بَيْنَ الصُّورَتَيْنِ فَصَاحًا. Joining the two surahs together is very authentic and sound. The fa in this poem represents the code used for Al-Imam Hamzah's recitation. Kindly know that Imam Hamzah counts Basmala as the first ayah of Surah Al-Fatiha. In other words, Surah Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is verse 1 of Surah Al-Fatiha according to Al-Imam Hamzah ways of recitation. Example of merging the end of a surah with the beginning of another surah. We are using Quran chapter 4, that is Surah An-Nisa verse 176, and Surah Al-Ma'idah, Quran chapter 5 verse 1 as an example. Wallahu bi kulli shay'in alimun ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Wallahu bi kulli shay'in alimun ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. The first I did idghamu kamil. That is how Khalaf used to do. Whenever tanwins comes before ya, it is counted as idgham kamil, and that is otherwise for al-Imam Khullad, just as the same as Hafs. He read the same way with Hafs, alimun ya, alimun ya, but Khalaf alimun ya. So this is how Imam Hamzah Az-Zayyat used to join the end of a surah with the beginning of another surah. Now let's look at ways of joining the end of Surah Al-Anfal with Surah At-Tawbah. Why do we need to know this? This is because Surah At-Tawbah has no basmala at the beginning. So for this reason, there are three ways of joining the end of Surah Al-Anfal with Surah At-Tawbah. For all reciter, since there is no basmala at the beginning of Surah At-Tawbah, we have Al-Waqfu, As-Saktu, and Al-Waslu. Waqfu means you stop for any amount of time. Inna Allah bi kulli shay'in alim. You stop, then you can continue immediately or after some times with bara'atun min Allah. The second is as-saktu, a short breathless pause. Inna Allah bi kulli shay'in alimun. Inna Allah bi kulli shay'in alim. It is wrong to say that. How do you say Inna Allah bi kulli shay'in alimun? Bara'atun min Allah. Or waslu, to connect both together. Inna Allah bi kulli shay'in alimun, bara'atun min Allah. In the second saktu, let me take it again. Inna Allah bi kulli shay'in alim, bara'atun min Allah. That is saktu. Why waslu is Inna Allah bi kulli shay'in alimun, bara'atun min Allah wa rasulih. So these are the three ways of joining basmala at the beginning of Surah At-Tawbah, of joining surah at the end of Surah Al-Anfal with Surah At-Tawbah. May Allah grant us understanding and forgive our shortcomings. See you in our next class. Fassalamu alaikum.